table conversation. And like I said earlier, today we want to look at life after the wedding, how couples can avoid debt. And we shared a case study where we looked at the scenario of a couple who, due to peer pressure and due to wanting expensive wedding, did not look at the budget, and we know the aftermath of that. And we have two key experts who will be joining us this morning, in the person of Mr. Benjamin Nathan Otchere, who is a certified financial advisor and planner, as well as Benis Dakwa, who is the CEO of Kikel's Events. And I think this is a conversation that is important. People are getting married each and every day. Many are also planning, as well as getting to understand the roles of an event planner when they come into your life, or even a financial planner when they come into your space. Now, today we are looking at weddings. We are looking at how weddings are often celebrated as one of life's happiest milestones. But for many couples, the financial reality after the ceremony can be overwhelming, from wedding loans to unpaid vendor bills for rent, school fees, and other obligations. Some newlyweds begin married life already under financial strain. Now, this discussion explores how couples can plan wisely before and after the wedding to avoid debt, being able to manage expectations and build a stable financial future together, drawing insights from both financial planning and event planning perspectives. Now, the conversation will examine how emotional decisions and social pressure, as well as poor budgeting, contribute to post-wedding debt, and how these pitfalls can be avoided. Right here on Business Breakfast on Z11.9 FM. Do share with us your comments, your questions on 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and you can also call on 0303-956641. I've seen that we have some messages already on our live stream on YouTube. We have we have Jessica, as well as Caleb, and the visuals, if you can add your name. Thank you so much for joining us on the live streaming, and we'll be looking forward to your questions whilst the conversation is ongoing. Good morning. Bernard is here with us. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing great.
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm good. And thank you so much for joining us on Z11.9 FM.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, to our cherished listeners, Benis will be joining us shortly, but we will start a conversation with Benjamin. Benjamin, let's start from why many couples focus heavily on the wedding day, but underestimate the financial impact of life after the wedding.
Okay. Good morning to your listeners, and it's good to be back here. And I'm glad that I'm doing this again. I'm not a certified and registered counselor, marriage counselor.
Right.
So normally I don't want to go deep into marriage stuff.
Okay.
But at least we are talking about finances when it comes to wedding and all those stuff. It's unfortunate that people want to depend on social, waves, if I should put it that way, social waves in terms of social pressure.
Okay.
And then use that to, kind of mark their event, their memorable event, of which that event is just for one time.
Absolutely.
What is after is what is for the lifetime. It's unfortunate that we all see it as such, but you see, that is because of social orientation. We have grown up with our peers to come and understand that if you do a bougie wedding, that is where you can say that you are well to do or you have really done well. You understand? So our social orientation has put us in that bracket where we always want to say that if I do the wedding at, say, Kempinski, or if I do the wedding at one of the bougiest, event center, where I have all those lights, all those long tables, And then all those, dancing floor designed nicely and all that. If I do all those things, that's why I would tell my friends that I've really had a very good wedding. But that's not it. You see, we are deceived by the social media era that we are, and then we think that when we do those things, that is what really is the wedding. But it's a deception.
It's a deception. Now, how common is post-wedding debt, and what forms does it usually take?
It's very common. It's very, very, very common. You see, that's like I said, we've been deceived by social media stuff. So you go on social media, you go on Instagram, and you go and see some sort of a very beautiful wedding and all that.
Right.
And the kind of impression or the edge you get is that, oh, it would be nice to have this.
Absolutely, yeah.
You get it. And that's human nature.
Right.
That's human nature. Every human being wants a nice thing. Even the devil. The devil wants a nice thing. That's why you don't see the devil chasing a madman. Because that person is mad, that person is spoiled already.
Right.
You understand? But the person who goes to church, who is doing things right and all that, this is the person the devil wants to chase. So everybody wants the nice things. So immediately you see some of these things on social media. You said, okay, I want to have this, without even thinking of how did this person do this? How did they get this place? Who sponsored it? Did they use their own money? Can I use my own money? The salary that I'm earning? Can my parents even afford or support me? Can my family members support? Can my friends support me? We don't ask these hard questions. You see, if we are able to ask these hard questions, that is where we'll be able to go away from the debt. Just like I said, the debt is very common. People who owe vendors, people who cannot even pay their first rent after the wedding. They cannot even put money on the table for you and your wife, which is the first family. You can't even put money on the table for food. You understand?
Yeah.
And all is because of the kind of deception we have had, not holding on to ask certain critical questions. Yeah.
Right. So I think that, now that we are in a digital savvy era, it's not going to stop people from posting their weddings and how they celebrate it. But from what you're saying, we need to find a way to control and not to be overwhelmed with the pressure that these platforms bring to us.
Exactly.
Now, from your experience, what is the biggest planning mistakes couples? You've mentioned some mistakes, but what in your opinion is the biggest planning mistakes couples make that drive up wedding costs?
Okay, so I think that in my experience and in what I've gone through, the biggest mistake is not asking yourself the critical questions. I've mentioned them earlier. When it comes to wedding and marriage, it's not a cast in stone. It's not a one size fits all. You understand? So the critical questions like, what do I want to do? What kind of wedding do I want to have? Okay. And if I want to have this wedding, if it is A, that is the bougie one, or if it is B, that is the, low key ones. If I want A, can I fund it? And if you want to fund it, you look at where your source of income is coming from. Is my source of income sustainable in such a way that I will be able to fund it and also fund the future which is after the wedding? If you are not able to see these two or answer these two clear questions and answer it very well, then you'll be in trouble. You get it? So you need to answer the question. Even if you choose the lower one or the low key one, you need to even answer the question, how would I fund it?
Right.
You get it? So you need to answer the critical questions, because some wedding you see around, the couples themselves didn't actually fund it.
They had a support.
Yes, they had support. Probably had support from their parents, had support from some rich auntie, rich uncle, some friends around.
Right.
You get it? So you see it and then you think that, oh, so I can actually do this. And then you put yourself into trouble. So we need to ask the critical questions. If we don't ask, that's the major mistakes we do when it comes to these planning of weddings.
And I think that you've listed a very good point here, that before you plan, ask yourself, what do I want to do? And then the number 2, you mentioned that, can I fund it?
Yeah.
And then also look into your source of revenue, whether for yourself or if there are external support that are coming in. And are you able to still fund yourself after the wedding? So the funding is not just before, but also after. Now, how can couples balance having a memorable celebration while staying within their financial limits?
Okay. So as for the balance, I think it will be very subjective.
Okay.
Depending on the understanding of the couple. So if you're a couple and you love each other and you say you want to live together, you should understand that the wedding is not the only memorable day you can create. It is not the only memorable day you can create. And I always say that it will be better. In fact, that has been the principle in my life. You always have to concentrate on the things you can control than the things you cannot control. So even if you are funding your wedding with other external sources, you should make sure that what you have or what you can control to fund the wedding is what you can use. And you can definitely use that to create a memorable event for yourself.
Okay.
You get it? So if you say you want to go and have wedding at the beach, okay, you can go and consult maybe the beach guys or whoever wants to help you. And then make sure that the pricing and everything that they are mentioning, you yourself or you and your spouse will be able to fund it. If there's somebody you know that you think that the person is related to the beachfront or the beach side and the person can go and, speak for you, you should be able to speak to the person, for the person to help you to reduce that cost for you. So for you to create a memorable event and still be within budget, it's up to the two couples. You need to come to that kind of understanding. If you don't, and the woman, most of the time is the woman who does that. You want to always have that kind of, beautiful stuff and all that. And the man who is going to fund it is saying that, look, this is what we can afford. We need to come to that same page so that we can create a very good memory for ourselves. And just like I said earlier, the wedding day is not the only day you can create memorable events.
Absolutely.
There are a whole lot of days you can do that.
Okay. Now, let's look at, while planning the event, in your opinion, what are some of the areas that can be managed? You made an example using the wedding at the beach, where you're getting supports and all of that. But what other areas can they manage when it comes to controlling their financials?
Okay, so I'm not an event planner, but what I did from my perspective, what you can control is probably the number of people you may want to invite. So you can actually budget for, say, 200 people.
Sorry, before you continue, in our side of the world, Ghana, I don't know if it's possible to control the number of people that attend your wedding.
No, I'm talking about the number of people you will invite, not people who attend.
Okay.
Because you see, there are two different things. There are two different things.
Okay.
Those who you even invite, okay, at the end of the day, how many of them will even give you gifts?
Okay.
Or even support you with money?
Okay.
You find few. So if you are going to depend on those who are going to attend, then it means you're expanding your budget. In any way, if they come and they don't have food to eat,
okay,
it's not a big deal, just like we make it. People have made it a big deal because they feel people will be talking about it, people will be laughing about it. But hey, at the end of the day, if you are thinking that you feed all these people and you go home and then your husband is not able to provide for you, you can never, ever even find their numbers to call them and say, look, support me, ABC. If you even go and call, that will even be what? Disgracing than you saying that when they came to the wedding, you didn't get food for them. So plan and invite those you can invite. If it is 150, it's 150. It's 200, it's 200. You provide for them. The rest who come, they don't get food to eat. Thank you for coming. You understand? So I think that our thinking and our perspective on some of these things is what is actually troubling us.
Yeah. So your thank you for coming here means that don't be worried about what they're going to say or what they're going to do. This is what you have budgeted. You give that and then that's it.
That's it. That's it.
How early should couples start budgeting for a wedding, and what should the budgets realistically include?
Okay, so you want to start as early as possible. So I can't put a timeline to it, but per your wedding date, you have to start as early as possible. So for me, for instance, I started talking about my wedding like 2 years or even a year before the wedding. And so we had conversations what we want to do and all that, and how we can even fund it. Because as at the time, you were not earning so much. So you couldn't, try to shorten your time and say, look, I'm expecting this kind of money coming, that. All you have is your salary. Do you understand? All you have is your salary. So we needed to plan ahead. And I remember even buying all my stuff, my wedding rings and all those things a year before. You understand? A year before getting onto the, the wedding day. Yeah. So you need to start as early as possible. Right. And that is subjective to everyone. Somebody may start 6 months to the wedding. Somebody may start 1 year to the wedding. So you need to start as early as possible. As for the budget, we all know it's line up the food, the water, the drinks, the space of which I wish people may not pay for. You can do decoration and all those things. But if you can afford it, why not? If you can't, because the after wedding is what is very important. Right.
The after wedding is what is more important. Now is 9:22 a.m. right here on Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Now we're having a conversation about life after the wedding, how couples can avoid it. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation.
Bowley. Bowley, 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 Bowley,
Z 101.9 FM.
Bowley, Bowley.
Accra, nestled in the vibrant neighborhood of East Legon and New Beacon, a 360 multimedia firm has emerged. Introducing Z Multimedia. With a steadfast focus on lifestyle, leisure, and business, we set out to bring high-value oriented programs that captivate the taste and desires of our audience. From the captivating airwaves of Z 101.9 FM to the dynamic visuals of Z TV and the innovative realms of Z Digital and the incubation of advanced technological knowledge at Z-Tech, every facet of modern media is meticulously curated to engage and inspire. Also, let's not forget the New Finder newspaper, now under the Z Multimedia umbrella, delivering insightful journalism with a business focus. Join us on the journey where innovation meets inspiration, where lifestyle meets leisure, and where business thrives. Change is here. Z Multimedia, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform.
Lakeside Estate is calling all business owners, institutions, and HR heads. Want to give your employees more than just a paycheck? Give them a place to call home. At Lakeside Estate, we're making it easy for companies to support their staff with beautiful lifestyle choice and affordable homes through flexible payment plans, staff financing, and mortgage options. Whether it's a 2-bedroom starter home, 3 bedrooms, or a spacious family home, Lakeside Estate has the perfect package for your team. Strong structures, modern finishes, and a vibrant community all are waiting. Let's partner together to give a lifetime value for your staff. Call our sales expert on 050-141-8622 or 050-859-8931 or visit lakesideestate.com. Lakeside Estate, quality homes for all.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
All right, welcome back. This is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Join us on live stream also at ZFMGH, and do follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at ZFMGH, on TikTok and YouTube at Z Multimedia. We have 2 giants here, and please, they want to know, share your question, they want to know your experience as well. Do WhatsApp us on 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and you can also call 0303-956641, 0303-956641. We've been joined here right in studio, Benis Dakora. Benis, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. Benis is an event planner and the CEO of Kekel's Events. So, Benis, maybe we'll start with you. Okay. Generally, life after the wedding, how couples can avoid debt. So, if you can let us know, in your opinion, what should couples do? What should they focus on heavily when they are planning their event?
Okay, thank you very much. It's very lovely to be here again. I think we all know that, getting married is one of the things that you can't, part of our traditional things that we do here in Ghana, you can't get away with it. And sometimes we do want something that is a bit elaborate and a bit big. But for me, I think it's very important. It's 2 different dimensions. But I think it's very important for couple to know what exactly they want and how much they're willing to go out and spend. That is like on the planning phases of the event. I also do understand that not everybody knows, they've never done an event before, so they can't guess, they're new to it. So they might be a bit lost trying to find out how to go about it. But it's very important to do your research and not go with the fast of what everybody is doing. I personally seen that most of the weddings that are stress-free and debt-free events that are properly planned, know exactly what they want, how much they're willing to spend, and go exactly with no pressure, no internet pressure. They're choosing the vendors that they know they can afford and go exactly with what they've planned on paper. I think that makes it a whole lot stress-free, debt-free after the event. Also, most people like to, get the accolades of, they're more interested in the social media trends, how, they will trend on social, the accolades of people, rather than what they exactly want to do for their wedding. They're forgetting the main reason why they're there and most interested in, the accolades, the fans, the trending, how it will trend or how they will appear on a trending vendor's page and all of that. So I think if you're able to take all those things out and focus exactly on what the main purpose is, which is the marriage, and what you can afford, and or you can push yourself to afford, then I think you can come out, less stressed and debt-free.
I think that Benis has started with 3 tips. Plan properly, know how much you want to spend, and then have no pressure.
Exactly.
Now, I asked Benjamin this question. Let me ask you the same question.
Sure.
How can couples balance having a memorable celebration while staying within their financial limits?
Okay, so I'm obviously an event planner as well. And I'm sure he also has a fair idea of these things
Yes.
as well. But truthfully speaking, you know, planning a wedding, most importantly, before social media era, we were still getting married, right? And there was no pressure. The question is, how was the marriages like? It was the two families coming together, commemorating together, and you getting married traditionally, and probably taking it to the church and then getting the check done before social media and all the extras came. So I think the most important thing is people have lost the main fundamental reason for marriage, right? They're looking more at everything else that's seen. It's necessary, don't get me wrong, right? It's necessary, it's beautiful. You only get married once your lifetime, so if you can afford it, why not? But I think most of my clients that I've seen that they've been able to do that and still be able to manage the stress that comes with all, you know, the wedding and the process is because they have actually acknowledged what they are going to do. And even on the event day, they lose themselves. They don't care about what's happening, which angle I'm taking my video, how am I looking, how much. They just completely lose themselves in the process because they actually acknowledging the real reason why they're there, that is between me and my husband, and everybody else is an additional. So having that mindset from the get-go releases a lot of pressure and stress off you. Most of the time, most people that go through all that stress and all of that, I mean, I had an event that the girl made everybody wait for an hour because she was trying to get the right shot with the photographer. The photographer takes a video. He's like, no, I don't like this one, because they don't care about the man and the people sitting outside and the whole memory. They're just interested in what is going on social media, or what's going to happen on social media. And I think if you have that mindset, it puts a lot of pressure. You're not able to lose yourself in the process. You're not able to enjoy yourself in the process. And I think once we have a good balance, that will be, it's good to know what's going on social media, but have a good balance in understanding what's the real event, what the main reason for the event is. I think it would help a lot. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes,
but
yeah.
yeah.
And there's something you said that people have lost the main fundamental reason of of marriage. And
Yeah.
Benjamin, what's your take on that?
I think I will agree with Benis. We are trying to go with the social media craze. And we all always want to say that we are trying to please people who don't even care about us.
Yeah.
People who will not, just like I said earlier on, will not call you, or you cannot even get their numbers to call when you are in need. You understand?
Right.
If you care about those people, you are going to put yourself into trouble. You see, marriage in itself, the planning, the pre-marriage, that's the planning, into the marriage day is stressful.
It is.
Very stressful.
And I don't think you want to add another stress post-marriage.
I mean,
Hey.
you understand? And
Right.
and why would you think of, somebody's out there when he sees the picture, and when you go to X, you find all sorts of language and stuff all over there. You think that people will be throwing you off here and there. No, you need to concentrate on, just like Benny said, what you want. If you can afford it, just go ahead and do it, and make sure you are doing it just because it's the great moment for you and your spouse, and you want to maximize the day, not thinking of what somebody will say or what somebody will gossip about. Yeah, so we are gradually losing that kind of essence, and unfortunately sometimes we don't get to go for counseling and then we talk about some of these
Very
things.
important.
You understand?
Very important.
Somebody was telling me that counseling that he went, he didn't get to speak on challenges. And I think I did quite experience something like that, even though for us they tried more to tell us that, look, this time will come, that time will come, You need to be prepared for that and all that. I mean, our counselors did an excellent job on that. But for me, I'll feel very good and comfortable if we are going to talk about the real challenge, because that is the real life. As for the good times, food is there, you have paid your rent, you know, you can go to a restaurant, eat and all that. But what about the time that the man who is the provider of the house loses the job?
It's a very good
What about the time that the woman, the time that you have planned to give birth, you are not giving birth? What about the time that you have issues like sickness? Do you understand? So if those times or those things are talked about, you get to see the essence of marriage itself. And you know that marriage is not about the social fuss like Bernice mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now let's write on the back of that. Why is financial transparency between couples critical before marriage?
Very critical.
Very, very critical. Very, very critical. You need to be very plain, or let me say transparent with your finances as a man, because I mean in our culture, the man really is the one who is going to marry. The lady was there. He didn't say that. She didn't say that. Come and marry. You said you want to, so that's why we do the proposal.
Right.
So you propose to her, she accepts. She's just waiting for you to come and do what you are supposed to do. Mainly, you are going to do all the major expenses. If she comes in to support, good. You understand?
Yeah.
But you are going to do the main thing. So you need to be transparent to the woman or your spouse and say, look, this is my salary. This is how much I earn. And at the end of the day, if you have some loans and stuff that you are paying, you have to what? Try to let her know, look, I have loans. You understand? The loans that I'm paying after I have been deducted, this is the amount of money I get coming into my account. And the woman, if you want to support, you need to be plain and say, look, this is also my salary. For me, I don't have any debt. So, per what we have done, this is what I can support with. And you move on. I think it's a conversation, yeah.
I'll come in on that. I think it's very important. A typical example is I've seen people that have absolutely good relationship before the preparation of marriage, right? Man, woman, living happy, we're in love, we want to get married, let's start planning. And because the expectation of one of the partners, either the man or the woman, hadn't been very cleared or communicated or properly talked about, you start to see conflicts between two people that knew they're in love, they want to get married, but in the process of planning the wedding, now they start to have problems, right? And most of the times, the men have pressure because they are the one looked at to, bring all the financial support and all of that. So you find sometimes, with my experience, you have sometimes the man will call you back door, please, when the woman calls you, say it's not available or it's something, because they're feeling the pressure, or they'll say, oh, do it, we'll pay you after the event. So that is debt taking over after marriage, just because two partners haven't been able, and the man and the woman coming to an agreement to say, okay, look, we have 100,000 as a whole overall budget for this wedding. Pushing it to 150 will be too stressful. What can we do? What can we take out? Can we use a family home for the event instead of renting a venue? What can we do to make the expenses come down? Because most marriages that I've seen that push themselves to, they are looking at what they can get on the wedding day. If somebody will bring them money, if somebody will bring them something. And if they're not getting, they are disappointed. Right after the wedding, I'll collect my money. I will call you. I'll start stressing you.
Absolutely.
Then, it feels like the marriage has already started on lies, on deceit, because husband doesn't want you to let the wife know that I didn't complete payment. And now, maybe it might have changed mood in the house, stress on the guy, the wife doesn't know what is wrong. By the time the wife finds out that my husband doesn't have what he has, you have lied to me, you haven't been honest. And that's the beginning of, trust being broken in marriage. So for me, if communication would be very clear, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. But once you start to find out about how much these things cost, it can guide you for you to know how much, you know, it should cost you. And if you're willing to go on at some particular time, very well, brilliant, go for it. If you need more time, if you need support, ask for it. But be truthful to yourself on what you can actually, because I always tell my people that I work with is, with my experience, 90% of times, if a client promised to make payment after an event, it's almost impossible to be able to get your money back. Because it's like, I've finished, the biggest stress on me is done. I don't want to think about wedding again. So they find ways to not, to basically not pay you your money again. They'll find reasons, excuse, or they'll do this hide and seek and all of that. So we take full payment before we do that event, because it's almost impossible to retrieve the money afterwards. Once in a while, you get people who are truthful, who would want to do it. So just realistically, look at yourself, look at the number of people, you need to cut some certain things down. Now, most of the events that are not even over the top done are the ones that end up even trending anyway, because someone ends up doing some crazy dance somewhere. But the people that have done all the things that they wanted to trend, it's like, hey, wait there, too much, Dodo. You know, you've over, because you can tell from the woman's face that he's trying to get the accolades and the fans from what they are doing, and they're not genuinely enjoying themselves. So crucial to have a communication, know realistically what you can afford, and just go for it. Because it can bring a break stress on both of the partners in the marriage after the marriage,
I think that was beautifully said. Be truthful to yourself and know realistically what you can do. Now let's come back to you, Benjamin. Based on what you said, that be plain as a couple, and then ladies also be ready to support. Now, with that, how should couples combine their finances immediately after the marriage, or keep them separate?
Well. That's a very tricky
Ben
question.
is laughing.
Your money is your money.
you know, right? I mean, the ladies will always say that my money is my money and your money is our money. Yeah, but for me, I think that would depend on the understanding of the couple. Okay, you need to come to an agreement that, look, we want to put our monies together, or let's separate our monies. Just do your responsibility as a man, and the woman, I will support you. You understand? So it's just about understanding each other and say that, because I know people who have an account they both have the same account. Every month they put something there just to try to, use it for housekeeping and all that. Some people will say that, look, you just keep your money, I also keep my money, and I'll do what I'm supposed to do as a man, provide for the house, foodstuffs, groceries, I'll pay the rent, pay the children's school fees and all that. If there's a point that I don't have money, I'll call for your help. And most of the time, even calling for help, you should be very clear about that. Are you calling for help in terms of soft loan? Or you are calling for help in terms of just do it as as a gift to me and the family, or to me and the children. Okay, we are building something together. So if it is loan, the money, make sure that you pay it back, because it's a way of also building the trust. You may think that the woman trusts you from the beginning onto the marriage and all that, but as you are moving on in the marriage, you are still building trust. So if you owe the woman and you are not paying, it sends a certain signal. Okay. You get it? Yeah. So you should understand and see whether you want to keep the monies together or, separate it.
Right. Take it from me as well.
Okay. It's very complex, but I feel like it's two ways. It's either you're keeping your money or you're joining it together. But I would say that a hybrid of it, it's a bit of both. A hybrid of it it's what is ideal, or what I would recommend. That you can put your monies together for things like rent, for mortgage, you're building, there's an investment, there's some school fees, there's an emergency fund. So you can have a joint pot that, truthfully, if you boys will be honest with you and that trust is built, you can put some money in, I can put some money in, and we know that we're using those monies for the most core important things that we both involves both of us. Now then you have your own account that you keep a bit of your savings, saying that if you want to look pretty, you want to buy a gift, you want to do something for yourself, you're not going to go to the joint account always or asking your husband money all the time to do these things. So I think if you guys trust yourself, you can sit down, say, okay, 80% of our income is going into the joint and we're using that for, you know, investments, into building, into rent, into all of that. And then the 20%, it's mine. How I go about it, it's my business.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Now let me come back to you, Benjamin. What simple financial plan should every newly married couple have in place?
Okay, that's a good one. So with a financial plan, I don't know how simple that would be, but there are certain financial plans I advise people to have. So as a financial planner and advisor, I always tell people that, look, there are 4 financial plans. If you have, you can actually have financial peace. Number 1, you should have your emergency fund. This emergency fund, you can either decide whether the man is creating it or both of you are creating it. You can decide whether we are keeping it in our name or let me say a joint account where you put it together, or we are separating it. Now, this emergency is supposed to help you in terms of when there are emergencies. Maybe the TV is spoiled, you need to get another one. Somebody is sick, you need to go to the hospital, or your parent, either side, you know, you want to help and all that. Number 2 is for you to get an investment income plan. That plan or that account is actually an investment whereby you build it up over time, and then the returns that will come is what you are going to use to help in the daily or monthly expenses. So for example, you can decide that, okay, we are building an amount up to say 50,000 within 5 years. When we build it and we are done, we take this whole money and then we reinvest it, and whatever amount that comes every quarter, we are going to use that to support our finances. What it means is that you have actually reduced the amount of money that comes out of your salary.
Okay.
And you are rather using the investment as well. So the money is actually working for you to support your expenses. Number 3 is for you to have an insurance. Everybody needs to have a life insurance. And this life insurance, what you are going to do is that in case you are no more, these monies will come and support the spouse that is left, so that they move on with what? With life. Because after celebrating you on the funeral day and doing all that they have to do, they need to move on. And if you are the man that you are gone, something has to support them. You get it? And then the last one will be your retirement fund or your retirement plan. Definitely by law, you are going to go on retirement. If you are doing your own business, that's fine. But maybe at a point in time, you'll be tired, you'll be exhausted, so you want to step aside. You need to plan for your retirement. Try to put some things together and have a retirement plan that you can do over time. And all these plans that I'm mentioning, you need to get a financial advisor to help you out. If you are able to do that, you'll be able to create a very good plan without paying so much. Because the next question I'm sure the listeners are asking is, the money is so small, why would you have all these plans? You understand? But you need to. There is a survey that was done by Old Mutual Ghana. And that survey is done every year. So the 2024 survey, one of the findings was that just 10% of working Ghanaians have financial advisor. Just 10%. But if you ask that number of people that were surveyed, that if they have cars, do you have a mechanic? All of them will tell that they have a mechanic. If their car spoils today, they have somebody to call. But when it comes to issues with money that they need to get, a financial advisor to help them. They don't have.
Where can
Yeah.
what source do I have?
Yeah, they don't have. So you need to get a financial, even if it means that you pay the advisor, do it, because it's going to help you in the long run. And research has also told us that those who had financial advisors and planners are able to double their money over time. Yeah. So I don't see the reason why people will not want to pay for a financial
Please
advisor.
repeat that for me, for us. Those who have
Those who have financial advisors and planners are able to double the amount of money they have over time. Yeah, because the financial advisor knows where to put money in every cycle in the economy. You get it. So you need to have, a financial advisor, and all these 4 plans that I've mentioned is something that you should have. Maybe Bernice will have more to add.
You said it all. You said it all. I think you broke it down quite nicely. It's very important to have emergency fund. Very important. I think one thing I saw that maybe you might have missed is the joint account. You need to decide if you're giving 50-50 of each person's income, or 80-20. Are you taking over the house, expenses, and somebody's doing? So I think once you speak about all these things, most importantly, he rightfully said, if you do have a financial planner, they can look at your income, overall income, and be able to diversify it for you. So I think you explained it quite well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And let me repeat the 4 areas you mentioned. You said that if, as a couple, you need to plan to have an emergency fund, and then number 2, investment accounts, so that you know that, okay, there are some yields that are coming in periodically to support. And then also have insurance, life insurance. There may be other insurance, but life insurance is very important. And then you talked about retirement plan. What is the plan for what do you have planned for the future, right? And then finally, Bernice added that have a joint account. So you can also agree whether emergency fund can be joint, or your investment account can be joint, or you be a separate joint account for expenses, so that your day-to-day expenses will be taken care of. Now, let me ask this question. Now, when it comes to Ghana, our culture, and this is for you, Bernice, is there a cultural shift in how we define a successful wedding?
Here in Ghana, culture shift. What do you think? Of course. Of course, as I said, from even what we've known weddings to be, and what we know weddings to be, or traditional marriage to be, is totally different. A successful wedding then was doing something and having all your family members from the village and everybody coming. So the wedding, people, they say, come on. Do you understand? That was what it used to. I mean, I was speaking a bit of Hebrew, but for those who don't understand, that's what we used to known a good wedding to be. I remember when I was quite young, we would travel to Kumasi. We go into one uncle's or one auntie wedding. We will go, the family are together in the morning, they will cook one rice water. We all rush, we go and eat. We're not doing too much. 2 families have come together. There's no after Sunday lunch, dinner, whatever. In Sunday, we all go to church. That was very important then. That Sunday service church was even as important of like the engagement itself. We all go to church, we go and do Thanksgiving service, and then wedding is finished. That was what traditionally Ghanaians we've known. So the shift now is obviously what we are doing now. I've known now traditional engagements sometimes don't even happen in homes. We are renting houses. We are renting spaces to do engagements because people don't want to do it in their homes, or except people that have parents that are straight, that would be like, I have to take your diary at home. But 100% people are even renting homes and other things to do engagements and weddings. So there's been a huge cultural shock But then I also do want to also believe that things are changing. And as things are changing, we have to kind of adapt to how things are done, I guess, for easy accessibility and for easy planning or coordinating of the whole event. So yes, there has been a shift, but the shift, I would say, a part of it is for the better because things are changing, things are moving, things are, we're experiencing new things. So on that angle, perfectly okay. But so far as I rightfully said before, you're not losing yourself and you know the core, the main things that needs to be done and you're not losing yourself, I think you're on the right track.
Right. And looking at the shifts as well, sometimes family expectations can be overwhelming. Now, how do you manage family expectations and not overspend?
It's very, very stressful for most parts because this is you wanting to do a wedding for only 100 people and your parents want to invite 100 people. So now that means you have to make it 200 because your parents have 100 and then you have 100. People that now it's not just if it's Abubulushi or a organization, group, they are all coming. You have church people coming, you have your personal friends coming. So yes, it can be a whole lot stressful, in terms of financial restraint, the pressure that parents bring. But it all comes down to communication as well. If your parents legit knows that it's something that is out of your budget, you can communicate, you can sit down, you can truthfully say, you know what, I'm allocating 20 people for you out of the 100. Look at it, who is really important. If we need to add something up, let's discuss it. Let's add 120. I've seen instances that the couple said they could afford 100 people, but the parents said, okay, I have more people. I'm willing to take care of the funding for the extra 20 because I can't.
Financial source.
Yes. I have to let them, I cannot say I'm not inviting them. I know that you can't afford it, so I'll take the 20% because these are my guests. So I think if there's honesty, there's communication, there's clarity, maybe we can be able to maneuver on that aspect. But if the pressure is too much and you can't you just can't it. You can't do it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about it. Like,
Ben said the same thing, that if you can't do what you can and just forget about the rest.
You can't. Absolutely.
Now, so I'm just about to ask for your last word as a financial planner and as an event planner.
Sure.
And before I do that, financial planner said those who have financial advisors and planners are able to increase their income over time.
Yeah.
And those who have event planners are able to do what?
Hey! Plan over time.
That's a good one.
Excellent. So, Benjamin, let us know what your last words for our cherished audience.
Okay, so what I'll say lastly is we should get rid of the social media craze. We should try to avoid the fast that is out there. We should try to be real. We should be ourselves. And in financial terms, when I say be yourself, look like what is in your account. What comes into your account is what you can control, number one, is what you can use. Don't try to set a goal for marriage thinking that you will do it and then go and pay the vendor or go and pay the rent or the renting of the space later after marriage. Set a goal that I am doing this marriage to even make profit. Because I know people, I remember my mentor telling me that I married and I made profit. You understand? And I also did the same. I married and I made profit. You understand? So that should be your aim. That should be your goal. If you have that in mind, then you'll be able to ask the question, how do I do that? Now you don't get to say that, okay, let's just do it, I'll pay later. Let's just do this, I'll pay later. No. Make your mind that I am going to do this marriage to be profitable, so that you can ask yourself how. That is where you come back to your, source of income and then your budgeted amount that you can use. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. What about you, Bennett?
My final words would be, look, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a God ordained thing, and we're not trying to scare people from, doing what God wants us for us. I mean, marriage is putting two union together beautifully to build a life or partnership together. So, I mean, it's something that should be encouraged, and we're not trying to scare people off with, all the expenses and all that comes with marriage. But I guess in the process of doing it, you need to be very real with yourself. Don't look at what other people are saying or what other people would want for you and your partner. You and your partner should set realistic goals on what you can both achieve. I mean, stressful, seamless. And also, I mean, with the help of God, I know if you have a clear mind in all of this, it will be seamless, it will be nice. The grace of God will come upon it because you know that you're doing the right thing. You know that you're doing God's plan. What God has for you is what you're doing. And in the process of doing that, if you're not stressful, trying to go with the social media craze and trying to impress and trying to do all of that, it will come naturally and everything will fall in place. Once you do have a good planner, like myself, we can take you through it quite nicely.
Yeah, and I can attest to the fact that you are a very good event planner.
Thank you very much.
Right, so for my financial advisor, should I call you advisor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, financial advisor, financial planner, he said, get rid of social media craze. Be yourself. Look like yourself, right? And then from Bennis, he said, two people come together to build a beautiful life. Be real. Don't look at what people want. But if you have a clear mind, it will be seamless. Now, thank you so much for spending your morning with us on Business Breakfast on Z11.9 FM. Right, so it's 10 a.m. And we will end the show now. And thank you so much to our cherished audience for listening and for tuning in. Sorry we could not read your questions this morning, but stay tuned. We have more to come. This is the Valentine month. And there are more conversations around love, marriage. So please stay tuned and don't change that dial. We'll continue this conversation another time, but tomorrow we are talking about the art of seasonal cooking, and it's going to be another level of conversation. Up next is The Brighter Side.